that solving your relationship problems would lead to better sex. So, I'm Leslie Dories, your marriage coach, creator of the Hero Husband Project, and that's what we're talking about today. So, I was just reading a study the other day that said that those couples who were able to solve their conflicts were more sexually satisfied. As Homer Simpson would say, dough, right? And I know that knowing how to solve conflicts is a real challenge for a lot of people. Um, and we don't like the word conflict. There is no way to put a positive spin on that word. And, and a lot of times I'm sure, you've seen movies, you've seen TV shows where couples are having this horrible, horrendous fight. And then suddenly they're ripping each other's clothes off and having great sex. So the problem with that is it doesn't really work very well. And I want to ask, when was the last time that you were in a argument with your partner where maybe one of you was yelling, maybe there was some dismissal of somebody's feelings or somebody's experiences, and the thing that you ended up doing was having great sex? Most of the time, fighting does not lead to the wonderful kind of relationship that is characterized by good sex. So I want to, that's what I'm wanting to talk about, because not everything that you and your partner disagree about has to be termed conflict. When you throw that word in there, that automatically sets up a tension, a dynamic that is not loving and supportive. Now, you and your partner are going to disagree about a lot of things. And the answer is not to either convince your partner that they are wrong, because I'm going to tell you that's not going to go over well, but it's also not to run away from it. And when you engage with your partner and it doesn't go well, what that teaches you is don't step in that puddle. But the problem is if you don't go there, you're not going to have a strong foundation for a truly intimate relationship, which involves great sex. And a lot of people try to use sex to get that good relationship, but that's going about it backwards. And one of the main problems that happens is that one of you thinks there's a problem and the other one doesn't. And guess what? If one of you thinks there's a problem, there is a problem. And the best way to deal with it is to talk about it, is to get curious about it, is to try to see things from your partner's perspective. Now, you might not feel the same way about it. I get it. But not being able to deal with it and not being able to truly reach resolution on it means it's probably going to spill out into other areas of your relationship, meaning the bedroom. And you might actually have sex every now and then, but I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be truly fulfilling if one of you is still upset about something. Now, generally speaking, it's the woman who is more upset about something. Because in this same study, they also talked about the power of forgiveness. That in relationships where men were forgiving, sexual satisfaction went up. Interestingly, they didn't find the same thing for women. That if women were forgiving, that didn't change how they felt about the sex. So I wonder if this actually might be that when men are willing to be forgiving and generous to their wives or their female partners, that that allows those women to be much more approachable about being physically intimate. Because what it means is it means they've been seen, they've been heard, and they've been validated, which is what you want, the conditions that you want to have when you are trying to have great sex with your partner. You want your partner to feel seen, heard, and validated. And so one of the ways that that got tapped into is for men to be forgiving of their partner's flaws and foibles. Now, again, doesn't sound fair, but that's what the research shows. And some of this may be that men are able to compartmentalize, or maybe it's, and I'm curious, if you're a man, I'd be interested to hear your take on this, because um, being forgiven may not matter to you. It may not, it may, or you may not be used to it. It may just have no meaning to you in terms of this aspect of your relationship. And the thing is you can learn good conflict skills, conflict resolution skills. They're simple. They're not necessarily easy, but they actually are really quite simple. And the idea of not rocking the boat is, it's great in theory, except you're not the one rocking the boat. If your partner is upset about something, if your partner is looking at the relationship and seeing some conflict that is not resolved, the boat's already rocking. And it's much better to just go ahead and face it and deal with it in a productive way than pretending that it doesn't exist. So if you'd like to learn more about how to resolve, really truly once and for all, resolve conflicts in your marriage, let me know. Give me, put a comment down below, send me a direct message, shoot me an email at leslie@foundationscoachingnc.com. But don't just hope it goes away, right? Because in actuality, once your partner stops talking about something, you're going to, I mean, unless you've really known that it is clearly resolved, what it does, it means it's going underground and she's looking for a way out. And that's one thing I don't want you guys to experience. So hopefully you found that helpful. And until next week, stay loving.